I can't only sit there quick.
Element for you, so I don't feel bad that I feel good. How do you
That should be one and two assisted living 3 weeks ago. And it's just that nonstop stuff to deal with. But no, so I should have done this 3 weeks ago and I didn't.
Yeah.
We will get started momentarily. Welcome everyone to College Council, our second College Council of the new academic year. We're just waiting for Marciano to join the circle of life. Welcome everyone. Ricky Shabazz, President of San Diego City College. I should say the proud President of San Diego City College. College Council is the highest level of governance at City College where we discuss matters involving our college. We believe in participatory / shared governance. And if you would like to bring a matter forward to College Council, you can do so up 2 ways.
Says. That's unstable connection.
Okay. Well, you can bring a matter forward to College Council either by meeting with one of the representatives that I'm going to introduce momentarily, or by reaching out to the president's office. Of course, this is supposed to be being recorded because we'll put it out on YouTube so that people can look at it and we can archive it and things of that nature. Before I get into introducing the leaders of the constituency groups, I'd like to acknowledge that our campus sits on the traditional land of the Kumeyaay Nation. We recognize the Kumeyaay people, past and present, and their land with honor and gratitude. Again, my name is Ricky Shabazz. I have the honor and privilege of being the president of the college. I know that Mona is coming because she had a ball trying to dunk me at the dunk tape. And so when she joins us, I'll acknowledge her. Nick is the president-elect of the Academic Senate. Tilly is the vice president of instruction.
Present.
Rodney is the dean for information and learning technology. President. Caesar, public information officer. Present. Daniel, supervisory rep. Present. Suna is the president of chairs cabinet. Susan is the dean of informational effectiveness and co-chair of city planning.
Present.
Andy is our new admin rep. Great. Selena is the reason why we are all here, the president of the Associated Student Government.
Correct.
John is on injured reserve and is joining us on Zoom.
Present.
John, do you want to share with folks our basketball game that got you in this situation?
Why you put me on blast? Caesar actually tripped me up, kicked me in the calf. No, we were playing in the same game and just elevated and planted the wrong way and tore my calf.
Yeah, can we keep you in our thoughts?
Thank you. Thank you.
He's a trooper. I tried to talk him out of it. I don't want y'all to think I run a tough shop, that I made him come to work when he literally does have a torn calf. So there's commitment there. Marciano is our vice president of students. Present. Sean is the president of the Classified Senate.
Present.
Marco is the coordinator of professional learning council. And Itza, sorry I did not introduce you last week. I thought you were just hanging out. And sure enough, you were voted, I believe, from the ideas committee to be the ideas rep. Welcome to College Council. And I apologize I didn't introduce you properly last time.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Mona is with us. I shared with them how much fun you had dunking the president out there.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yes, that makes two of us. I got to wear my shorts to work. I was looking forward to that. Of course, Mona is the president of the Academic Senate. This is the leader, or these are the leaders of the constituency groups here at our college. If you would like to bring a matter forward, you can do so by reaching out to one of these amazing people or my office, and we would love to bring an agenda item forward, the second item on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from August 26th. If someone would like to make a motion,
This is Sean, motion to approve.
thank you, Sean. Is there a second? Thank you, Mona. Any further discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone in opposition or would like to abstain?
Abstain.
Thank you, Sanaa, abstains. Already welcome Itza to the college council as the ideas representative. Andy, who sounds like will be joining us momentarily. He is replacing Dee, who was the administrative rep. That's a fancy name for the representative of the managers, who are their own constituency group. He will be joining us. We'll introduce him properly. Of course, many of you know him as one of our amazing deans here at City College. In fact, the dean of the largest school.
Who's a collaborative character.
Yes. The next item, I'll turn it over to Marciano to talk about the first of many cultural months that we'll be celebrating here at San Diego City College.
So, City College is proud to once again, honor our, Latinx, community, in celebration of Chicanx Latinx Heritage Month. So I'm actually gonna turn it over to Claudia, who, has put together a fantastic, calendar of events. She'll share a little bit, of them, and I think Tia's gonna share this with folks as well.
Yes. So I've been I'll be putting together all the events. They are events for like staff, for our classified professionals, our faculty, our managers. So feel free to check that out. There should be already posters in A-frames around campus. If any of you who are listening to this or seeing this want to add any event to the calendar, I'm the point of contact for now moving forward. I'll just ask you to contact me via email. And then I will add your event to the calendar. The month starts on September 15 and celebrates until October 15. And so we'll have again gatherings, include like our Latinx, Chicanx employee mixer. Like there is like a lot of different departments collaborating for this programming. The calendar also have some ongoing resources for like this population. So again, if you have resources that want it to be to the calendar, just contact me via email.
And some highlights, just, we once again are doing the, Abriendo las Puertas, which is our, hiring panel, that features our folks, that have either gone from classified, to SPA, or SPA, to, manager, director. And then we've got some folks that have gone from, part-time faculty to full-time faculty. So there's a good mix of folks, and folks who we've been talking a little bit about how, they've navigated the hiring process, and then thinking about how they bring their own identity into the hiring process, and you know, how to be your authentic self during the process. So really excited about the 4 new folks that are gonna be, so you don't have to, it's not the same folks that have done it in the past. We've got some new folks to share some different perspectives. As we all know, we've done a lot of hiring lately, so really excited about that one. And then there'll be an opportunity where we're gonna honor our Latinx employees that have worked 15 to 20 years with us. So we've got a few folks that we're going to be honoring for especially for that small group of folks as well. So excited about that.
Yeah, and I want to take the liberty to thank everyone involved, but I also want to take the liberty to say, I typically don't talk about the events that came to City College as a result of the leadership team that's in place right now. But we have the Latinx employee mixer because a lot of folks, if you look at the data, let me say that we're somewhere between 50 and 54% Latinx. And as a college that's committed to social justice, it is so important that there are intentional efforts with hiring to ensure that the students see themselves in all of our hiring. And I'm proud to say that in speaking with our leadership team, several of these events were spearheaded in an effort to ensure that hiring is equitable, but that folks have the cultural capital necessary to get through the hiring process. So that's my fancy way to say that this hiring panel really came from me. Came from me meeting with folks one-on-one to say, how do we broaden this conversation across Sedica? We are the only college in Sedica who does this, and we generate people from all over the region who come to this college to get help with navigating the hiring process. And not only that, people get jobs, not just at City College, but at Mesa College and other colleges. Well, why am I saying that? Is that, you know, I've been getting a lot of folks come to me to say, well, what are you doing for this group? And what are you doing for that group? And a lot of times we don't advertise because you don't see my name on it and you don't see my picture on it. Doesn't mean that I'm not the one behind doing some of these things. And you can go back and look. This college did not do these things before I got here. And you can, you know, we have the data to speak to who's been getting hired as a result of these things. That also includes the 3rd annual Chicano Latino Educators Network, where we bring Latino leaders from the region to our campus to talk about their career pathways. And I just wanted to state that for the record because I've been engaged in a lot of conversations where folks are asking questions. And I just assume that people know these things, but it's coming to find out that they don't. And some of the reasons why they don't is some of the people asking these questions don't go to these activities. If they went, they would know those things. These 2 events, there is no other college in this region who are doing these 2 events. And these are some, if you've never been, what would you say? We had 60 or so people at these events. And folks are telling us that, hey, there was never a platform for me to get my questions answered about the hiring process or the career pathway process. So just wanted to state that for the record, although I know the people who are talking to me about these things, 1, they don't go to these things, and 2, they're probably not watching College Council. But with that said, I'm so proud of this college, and I want to thank Claudia. I want to thank Adon, because really I tasked Adon with taking my idea, and I set it up the first time. And he took what I initiated, and frankly, he took it to the next level. So let me publicly thank Dr. Sanchez for his leadership because he saw the vision of why this was needed. Because what you all don't get to see is that regularly in my office hours, people come to see me, adjuncts, things of that nature, saying, hey, I'm interested in a full-time job. And for the record, if a job is posted, I do not talk to people, right? But if it's just a general conversation about hiring, and so we created this platform so that anyone, whether you're a member of this community or not, you can go get the information. Tilly will tell you, we did this same event in the community and at a church, right? And folks, the church didn't think anybody would show up. We had about
65 people.
Yeah. And again, a lot of times we just don't advertise these things because there's just too many things to advertise. Please participate. Please share this information. It's open to anyone. All of these events are open to anyone. And as Marciano said, we will have an employee luncheon because a lot of people are in different buildings. They just don't, you know, if you're not involved in the hiring process, you wouldn't know who's getting hired. Although we do send pictures of the people and bios. Any questions about these events? They're fun, great way to have some fun. I want to shout out Clarissa and the Noche de Familia. That event is an amazing event. Kudos to her and her team for putting on that event. It's good to see the young people. A lot of our students have children. Many of our employees have children. It's a way to bring children on campus, see the campus, talk about college, and have a good time at the same time. Any other questions or comments? Moving on to the next item, I'm going to turn it over to Mark, who's going to provide an update on Professional Learning Center.
All right, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to use our website. Talk about this. Cool, it's up there. All right. Well, a good segue from Latinx Chicanx Heritage Month. Some of the events on there I put them on our professional learning page on our website. So this is actually a good way to find it. Don't Google it for now because I think we still get the old one. If you Google professional learning and professional development, you'll get our old page. So just save this tab. If you go to the home page at the top resources, you go to professional learning. That'll take you to our new homepage. And so now this is I spent a lot of the summer updating it to make it useful so that you want to go here and has information for you. So on that point, for some of the events like the hiring panel and our educators network event, that would be for this month and in February when we do it again for Black History Month. If you go to Career Pathway Series, which was a pre-existing program, I've updated that page, so it will have that information. And so it has a bunch of different things on here, but if you look, you'll see there are educator network events and then the hiring panel on there and the registration event information. So those related type of activities are on this webpage now. You can look at them for the most part, what we have coming for the entire year. So just a good segue you can see here now. If you're looking for things in that same realm, just go to our Career Pathways Series page. I mean, it'll be there. And then I guess if this is going out to campus and you have a related event that we don't know about that's not on here and you'd like it to be, you just reach out to me and then I can make sure it gets onto this page. But what I'm here about today is what I want to do is we made a team goal in professional learning to be able to get the word out that the center is open and that you can reserve it for space, just like this, for different events. And so what I want to share is how you go about doing that and finding information about the different spaces we have in here. So from our homepage for professional learning, if you scroll down at the quick link section, there's a reserve a room button. That will take you to the steps on how to reserve a room. The easiest way is if you want to look for availability, you would email Justin, our administrative assistant, or myself, and you can ask, is it available on this particular day or date? And we'll tell you yes or no. Then the steps outlined here, what you need to be able to do is fill out a facility request and sends off to Ginger's office. They confirm with us. We go thumbs up in the email, and then they send you confirmation. And then you're booked. You have the space. The way to look at our entire calendar of events that are happening in here on our homepage at the bottom, we have our Google Calendar, and you can see the day you like and the time. And this has all of the events in here with the room. So if you can click that day and time, you can look yourself too, and then just confirm with us. So there's a couple different ways that you can see that. If you don't know what it's like down here at all, we have, if this works, we'll update this a little bit more as we go, but this is generally speaking some of the images of the rooms here, so you can kind of see. It kind of helps you out a little bit, gives you an idea of the room layout if you can't get down here. Or if you just want a description, this has the room descriptions for you. So it has the room number, the name of the space, it's what it can do, its capacity, that sort of thing. So you can choose to, or you just ask us. You tell us what your event is, and we'll tell you what you can do there. You can have food down here. We just put it in R110, which is where we have the refrigerator and the sink. We keep it in there, so you can have an event in one space, and then if you have food over there, that room can handle that back and forth. There are restrooms here. We have workshop spaces like this. We have 3 different ones like this. We have a conference room. We have 2 individual small office spaces for like adjunct or part-time faculty members can come. They can meet with their students as long as they're with them. They do office hours there. They can just work independently there. And then in the very back, we have the combined R114 and 115, which is our it's really our meeting and kind of lounge area where you can work independently or in small groups. We have 2 mobile screens you can hook your laptop up to share at a much larger screens, just about that size there. Individual workstations, couches, lockers. So if you want day use, you want to lock things in, there are lockers in there. So what we're trying to do now is we're going to begin emailing out information just like this, but then going to department meetings and school meetings to share with everybody that you can come down here. And we have our programming events that definitely help. Since we've started tracking people coming into the center in March, we've almost doubled the amount of people. So we had 600 or so last time, but since the summer until now, we've already surpassed that number of people coming in to the center. That's with events planned and not planned now. And so I can take any questions, but this is just the first time you'll hear about it, that please come visit us. We can accommodate nearly everything.
Yeah, and I would add, as we begin the process of expanding the transfer and career center, the academic senate and the classified senate offices will eventually move down here And Sean and Mona, I hope you all are working with Marco to make sure that we get you the proper accommodations here. The construction is scheduled to occur during winter break, so we're looking at when you all come back in January. So we really should begin those discussions, if you haven't already, about where you're going to be located down here, as we have outgrown the transfer and career center. I appreciate the leadership recognizing that, so that we can knock down some other walls and expand that facility. But I echo Marco. Marco and Rogers, Justin, the team down here has done a tremendous job. This was not supposed to happen, folks, until Measure HH, and we were able to do this, I would say, about a year in advance. And there is a long-term plan to expand this area moving forward as well. So kudos, Marco and Anna, for your leadership here. Any questions for Marco? I'm trying to have as many events down here as possible. I believe we're going to have a managers meeting. Yes.
These spaces are only reserved for the faculty and students, children.
Right now, as long as you have an employee with you guys. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we've had World Cultures and other events down there.
The library has a student lounge bookable space that you can book to the library website, and it's like a meeting room for us.
Yeah, and I'm also looking forward to Marco working with Cyprian and Caesar to shoot a video of the place down here.
Oh, the Cribs video.
Yeah. Yes. Well, if there are no other questions, we will keep things moving. John, I will turn it over to Dr. Parker for campus safety. And I'm only saying Dr. Parker because there are two Johns in the room, so.
Thank you. Regarding campus safety, we'll have the SDCCD Safe app, which will be available within the next month or two, October or November. We currently still have our Live Safe app, and we'll continue to keep that until April, I believe, when the current contract expires. We're the only campus in the district who has it. I did not want that contract to lapse and have a gap between the go live of the SDCCD Safe and our Live Safe app. So we'll run them tandem for several months. Once it is live, and it will be available in the App Store for Apple and for iOS download. We have collateral. You'll be seeing information coming out soon from our marketing team and in my monthly updates once it is live. Annual security report for 2025 in our packet. We have a comprehensive security report. I think it's about 80 pages or so. I just checked, and it's not updated. It's not uploaded to our health and safety website yet, but it will be in very short order. Please take the time to go through and look at the data in the report. This is district-wide, and it does include each campus and city, of course. If there are any questions, please reach out to me or ask me or Dina for the health and safety to be put on the health and safety agenda. We meet the first Thursday of each month at 10 a.m. And we just had it last week, so it will be another 3 weeks. So again, if there are any questions, you can certainly email me. If you'd like to attend the health and safety meeting, you're encouraged to do so. It is a public meeting that is open to the campus. Any questions regarding the SAFE app and the safety report? Or any additions?
I would like to add that echo what John mentioned, that we will transition from Live Safe to the district app prior to April.
Correct.
Will be communicated effectively across the campus, because we don't have the resources to run both at the same time, but there will be at least an overlap to get people to the new app. The other thing I would like to say, as you are looking at the annual safety security report, that is a Clery Act requirement. So that will go out in an email to students, and it will be required to be on our webpage. you should have questions when you look at the data. One of the questions you should ask is, what is the difference between being in an urban setting versus a suburban setting? One of the other questions should you ask, you should ask is, are these students we're talking about, or are these non-students that are listed in the report? And so we should engage in a discussion around security, because your safety and security is our number one priority. So we look at these reports very seriously across the district and exec cabinet, in my meetings with the academic senate president and all the other leaders here. We have open discussions about what these numbers mean and what they represent. So please take a look at the report. It should have been provided to you electronically. I'm sure that once the students start receiving the reports, I typically start getting questions from students. I'll be coming to the student body momentarily to make sure that that report is on the agenda when I come to them. This is real, it's active, and we continue to address campus safety with lighting and your feedback about problem challenge areas on campus. I'll reiterate that we are not going to police ourselves out of this. If you look at the budget for San Diego and the police, with the amount of resources they spend on police, you know, you would think that the crime rates would be lower. Generally speaking, this is a very safe campus, but on the most safe campus, that things still happen. So we're diligent about making sure that safety is our top priority. If we regularly have conversations daily and weekly about campus safety. Questions? Yes.
I said for the different columns, the on-campus, non-campus, John, can you describe those, what they mean?
Let me pull that up. I'm not on that page yet. On campus, on campus and off campus?
Yeah, that's those 4 columns, on-campus, non-campus, public property.
Yeah. That would be the perimeter of the campus, or just off-site in the campus community,
Okay.
not on our contiguous property.
Yeah, and so this is language that the Clery Act requires. So sometimes non-campus could mean you're a center, right? And so you know, we have classes going on at the high schools. We have off-site locations. So think of it as on campus and off-site. Also, a point of reference is that we have 5 years of data, but we all know what took place in early 2020, 2021, COVID. So you know, you may see increases. Well, you know, again, the data without an analysis is somewhat just a set of numbers. What we know is that there weren't a lot of people on campus during COVID. So of course there would be decreases of these incidents. Generally speaking, as you've heard me saying, this is not a cop-out. Like, I would compare our data to any other college in the area, certainly any other urban college, and say that this is one of the safest places to work. That doesn't mean things don't happen. Things happen.
And if I could just add in closing, just to really drive home the point of safety being a priority, you may have heard me mention in several venues that we have increased spending exponentially for increased lighting. We've added access control, installed gates, increased patrols in high traffic common areas, and we're continuing to create logistic plans to control the access and just really light up spaces.
Yeah, and when necessary,
For us in the evening, let's just say trouble, high traffic spaces for us.
Yeah.
Yes, and
You're
we're
breaking
continuing
up.
to. Oh, sorry. How's that? We're continuing to explore a day watch team as well. So just wanted to make that point.
Yeah,
Those points.
Yeah, I was interested in the numbers for the arrest and disciplinary referrals, because it seems to me that those numbers actually don't always correlate to the criminal offenses or the Violence Against Women Act. I'm wondering if we have data for the criminal offenses that happen and the Violence Against Women Act, and how many of those are actually brought to arrest or disciplinary? Do we have that data?
Yes, we do. And there are a group of us who receive emails daily on the activity that occurs on campus. If you would email me that question, certainly I can make that information available to you from the chief. Would love to be able to do that.
Yeah, I bring that up only because I think in terms of safety, obviously, I think a lot of these liquor law arrests or these drug law arrests aren't actually things that are reported under the criminal offense or the Violence Against Women. And so I'd be interested in knowing sort of like of the criminal offenses or the Violence Against Women, right? How are we holding people accountable? How does that affect our safety?
Yeah.
Right, for the people who experience it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We regularly look at the data and receive reports on what I'll capture as domestic violence and other acts that would fit into your question. So if you would email that to me, I would be happy to work with John, open to John's to get that information to you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
This is a question for Dr. John Parker, and I think, did I hear correctly that the safety committee is working on the day watch alongside with the night watch? Is that what I'm hearing?
I heard my name, but I couldn't hear the question.
Oh, I said, if the safety committee is also working on, excuse me, the day watch alongside the night's watch that's planned for this fall.
Yes, we are. It's an exploratory stage to determine, one, if it can be staffed, and two, if we can maintain the funding sources or the resources. So we're looking at ways to activate it, but it's still in exploratory stage at this point. But to answer your question, we are, yes.
Yeah, so I would ask the both Johns work with Tia as we would regularly have our annual safety meeting update where we invite everyone involved in it. To expand on your question, there are a number of things underway. One of them are various levels of progress. One of them is a cadet program. Another is ongoing conversations with campus police about them dressing down on campus, because certainly we have individuals on campus who would have a more positive experience with a police officer if they were not in full uniform. And did I mention the cadet program? Increased presence of like CSOs. Because there are events that don't require a police officer, and then there are some events that do require a police officer. And so we're in those conversations with the police department and the leadership in the police department, and John Parker, John Boyce, and others who are involved in regular interactions and meetings with the district police. And we're making progress there. As well, so looking forward to that. Other questions? John, anything else you would like to add?
I think that's it regarding campus safety. I can move on to item 7 if there are no further questions. Measure HH update regarding review of user groups. So in the month of August, we had the opportunity internally, at least, to meet with the user groups of the 4 priority projects, to include Seville, Harry West, or athletics, student housing in the A building expansion. We're currently in the process of meeting, when I say internally, at the campus level, with the district's facilities bond team, in addition to our PMO, which is essentially the management company, or company in this case. We have 2 companies. One's the management company, which is Cummings, for our capital renovations, and GAFCON is the PMO, project manager organization, for the new builds, for the new build construction. So we're going to meet again with those user groups, those stakeholders, with those teams. And we're in the planning stages still. We're early in the planning stages, so there are going to be plenty of meetings going forward for the next several years. We also had a walking tour. I think that was on the second Project HH walking tour on September 2nd to highlight the projects of each of those aforementioned. And we'll have a housing kickoff meeting that we're planning for November 2nd. More information to come on that. Our facilities planning meeting is the third Thursday or website of each month. We welcome attendance and comments. We are creating user groups, if you will, subcommittees for each of the 4 priority projects. So we're just in the planning stages and we're working on getting those subcommittees together, which will be participatory, representing all constituencies and whoever else is invited. Also wanted to add, we did meet with the deans and managers regarding Project HH timelines and the next step. So that was deans and managers. We are going to have another meeting similar to that, which will open it up to the broader community. Those dates have not been set yet. Communication will be coming from my office once they are established. So lots of meetings, lots of activity. Happy to field any questions in this meeting via email, and then our facilities planning committee and the subcommittee meetings once those are established. Any questions or additional items?
Questions about Measure HH? Both items 6 and 7 are standing items on College Council. I want to just expand on what John was saying. The planning phase will be 18 to 24 months on most of the 4 projects. If you get a chance to read my campus update, I go a little bit more into detail. The video of the campus walk is there. I believe the information in the video is valuable, particularly if you want to see where these sites are going to be under construction for the next 3 or 4 years. Construction will launch in various stages based on the 4 projects, with the 2 bigger projects, the Seville and the 8-building expansion, not slated to begin until early January-ish of 2027. And so there's a lot of time to engage in the user groups. Those user group processes will not go through the normal academic senate process because there are people who are already in these buildings. So it's engaging the folks who are moving either into the building or out of other spaces. And so that is going through the vice presidents, working with the chairs and the folks who are impacted and the deans who are impacted by these areas. Just for the record there. Certainly there will be ample opportunities because it's a standing item here. There'll be other info sessions along the way that can engage people who desire to learn more about these projects, to include in the near future signs going up in the location saying coming soon. Excuse our dust or excuse the inconveniences of getting from one part of the campus, because there's going to be disruption for the next 10 years on campus with all of the construction.
I just wanted to add as well, the timeline that you mentioned, Ricky, in addition to project profiles for each of the projects, are available on the bond measure HH on our website. Just type in bond or HH and it'll take you right to those profiles in the timeline.
And this is where we really need the support of people on College Council, and I'll see your hand, Tilly, sorry, I'll get to you momentarily, of sharing this information, because people are more likely to come to you first and say, I don't know what's going on. This train has left the station, folks. We are deep in the planning of this. And we need your support in directing people either to the website or these info sessions so that they can learn more about what our progress is toward these efforts. Tilly.
Thank you. The explanation was wonderful, but I think I'm just going to ask the question. We don't really know the answer, but can we also talk about the HH measures is one thing that you mentioned, but what about somebody who has a site improvement? How does that fit into this process, or does it?
John?
Certainly, So you can submit a site improvement request as we normally would. That's also available on our facilities or administrative services website. It might be on facilities as well. So it's a regular SI process. If it's something regarding safety and security of the campus, we will escalate that. And we have done so already, and I'll request H&H funds. That's a different process with the district where I have to complete their form. So it's typically as we'll do for any SI process.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of that, particularly, I want to make sure, John and Andy, that we get with Sean Bacon and his request. Because again, this is happening in phases, folks, with the first 4 projects underway. And then we'll get into phase 2. But we have an opportunity to address Sean Bacon's with the facilities request. So if you can make sure you and Andy, you guys get together.
Yeah.
Good.
I just wanted to put a finer point on that as well. These are for items that were not included in the facility strategic plan or the bond ranking completed by Gordian. These are, so it's not to move a project up, because we'll get to that point once the 4 priority projects are complete. These are for the renovation part, the capital renovation, the small low hanging fruit capital renovations that Cummings is managing. So it is now a 2-step process with our SI and the districts form process as well.
And you may, and I addressed this in the video, but I'll do so here. You may start hearing us talk a lot about performing arts and athletics. That's because they were not involved in the original bond program that built out this building and others. And they are at the top, not only at our college, but also Mesa College in the current bond program. So it's not that we favor athletics more than science or anywhere else, but you could look at the science building, and some of these other buildings are relatively new in comparison to the Seville, which may be older than I am. In addition to the softball stuff, in addition to the softball fields and some of these other places. So they needed the attention that we gave to these other buildings in the prior bond program. Any questions or additional comments? So those who are in the A building, those who are in the Seville Theater Dance, matter of fact, I've already met with athletics. This was last year. I met with the folks in Andy's school who were affected by this last year as well. So getting the band back together, start having these discussions. I'm looking forward to seeing this Seville redone. It's going to be a major focal point of the campus, as well as the student services area, and we will bring in a future agenda item, an idea to rename the A building, not after someone, but more appropriate to what is going to be there when we go into the new building. So that'll be coming forward for going through the process as well. Lot of moving parts, folks. Please ask questions. Please share this information with your colleagues, because I can tell you on the tour, we've got great questions, but many of the questions we got were things that we've actually been sending out, right? So we need your help getting information out to folks. Moving forward, I am going to turn over to Tilly and Marciano to go over the board meeting agenda, which is on October 30th, which is my favorite day of the year.
Well, in advance, happy birthday. The people going to lunch. And I see that we have the agenda up there, and it might be a little small, but I believe it should be in here.
It is in the packet.
Thank you. And this is the same board meeting that we present every year on our campus, and it's such an honor.
Did you say the best one?
The best one, and it is the best one of all. Mona will attest to that, right? We all have our own prejudice and there's like, you don't to all of them, and none of them really exciting. You do a great job. And then I just wanted, before I get started on the agenda, just to say, how do you get on this agenda?
How do you get on?
You're looking for that. I know myself and Marciano, we usually try to mimic ourselves with like programs that kind of complement. Also, we have programs that come forward and say, hey, I'm doing some great stuff. I'd like to showcase, etc. Usually we have a list of what's coming forward. And, this year, Marcia, did you want to start off on any of this at all, or just want me to go ahead and
Go
start?
for it.
As you can see, I don't have to go into every detail, but we'll obviously have our welcome and introductions that we always have from our constituency groups come forward. And so, you know, this is another time for you to be showcased and come forward with the board. And then we'll have Ricky, who's going to be talking about our theme, do the right thing. That's what we're talking about this year. And then Marciana, do you want to start over with, taking over?
On the student services side, we really tried to think of things that, that showcase not only student services, but our connections with the instruction side. And so you'll see that really embedded in this. So one of the things that we originally were going to do, our Blooming Minds, we're gonna present on Blooming Minds because that's the partnership with veterans and mental health. But that grant ended and our person took a full-time job someplace else. So they are now gone. So instead we are, and not instead, but it's another great program that we're highlighting is our Veterans Mental Health program, where we have an embedded mental health counselor in the Veteran Center. And so that will be, we'll have that presentation. And then we're going to, as you all know, we had our grand opening of our Anopi Center this past week. And so we are going to once again start now to highlight some of the programs that are coming out of there. So our partnership with ICANN and the class, again, we have embedded counselors, mental health counselors, as well as academic counselors that are embedded in there. So we're going to talk about that. And then this is, we're in the last years of Yosue STEM. And so we wanted to really pay tribute to that and to honor them and to give them a chance to now really, I think we presented on them several years ago, but we were at the beginning of it. Now we really kind of, it's come full circle and talk about like, here's what we've accomplished so that folks can kind of know why this grant was important to us from the beginning. So that's just the three student services presentations, and Tilly will tell you a little bit about other ones.
And then we move into the Student Research Symposium. And since I've been here over the last 7 years, I've been able to participate and be able to observe the Student Research Symposium. But I really didn't hear a whole lot about, like, other than when I attend. So we're asking our co-chairs to maybe come forward, give an overview, what that looks like. We're still trying to decide whether the students will be showcasing their posters in advance, like during dinner. That's how we're just getting some of the logistics down. But Andy, because he was helping with that process, gave us a whole list of students that had received awards on that day. And thank you to Adon Sanchez, who was working with us one day, and he helped us to go through the list and say, these are the students that are currently enrolled for classes this fall semester, which made it so much easier to be able to get a hold of the students because they're still here instead of trying to drag them back from a university or something like that. So the posters or projects that you see listed are because the students are currently here, and I think Deanna and Aaron are working.
Yeah, we're meeting some next week to go through the decisions and talk about some ideas.
Perfect. And I think it's gonna be really exciting to present that. It's been going on for how many years?
Like 15, 20.
So I think that's really important for us to look at. And then there was another program that we started talking about. I'm just gonna turn this over, because it's Andy's show.
Yeah, there's some amazing things that go on in our FJump programs here on
What's FJump?
campus. FJump is film, journalism, and media production.
No longer our team.
No longer RTVF. Are we allowed to say that now? Okay. No longer RTVF or journal, digital journal. But I don't know if you know, but a majority of the movie Attack of the Killer Tomatoes was done on this campus. Well, this last year they did a.
I did not know that until
Yes.
a couple weeks.
I think that's fantastic.
Well, last year, one of our adjunct, Jody Silly, does the San Diego Film Awards, and it's been doing it for years, and it's amazing. I think it's the 10th year this time. And they honored that movie. And so in honoring that movie, they came on our campus and they did all their filming that we're gonna show at the Film Awards, which I was lucky enough to get to go to. It was amazing. I mean, it's like going to the Emmys or the Oscars. It's really that big. And They used 50 of our students, over 50 of our students on this campus to be behind the camera, in front of the camera, and all sorts of stuff. So Jody is going to show parts of that film that were made, and that you'll see all over campus that it was done in. And we're also really proud of the election time last year. We had like the only live at Golden Hall at different places, talking to people out on the street about the elections with the new equipment that we got last year, and our students did that. And that was pretty amazing. So we're gonna show that as well. Then Photo 360, we know that's been very popular over the last many years they've done it. I don't know if you've ever been involved in it, but over 900 high school students come onto our campus over in the B building. And they get the community involved, different camera shops, and they wanted to do a film 360. So Sony contacted us. They want to be a part of it. They want to provide cameras to our students, state-of-the-art type of stuff to our film students, but they also want to do a film 360. So that's another thing that's coming up. And yes. What was that? The Emmy.
Yeah.
Oh, the Emmy, yes.
That's
yes.
what I just said.
We've had over 20 Emmys for our students from our program
Wow.
here, and we had one last spring, and they're also going to be honored at this board meeting. And by the way, thank you so much for the call this morning. I look forward to this meeting.
I didn't want to embarrass either one.
It makes it easy to hit right.
Yes, it does.
Any-
But yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, I was wondering, since it says trustees of a live YouTube, is happening simultaneously with the board of trustees meeting?
This is the Board of Trustee
Okay.
meeting. So one of the things you'll get to see as a new student government president, in the fall, City College and Mesa College host a board meeting on our campus. So this is the City College board meeting that we will be hosting. And in the spring, the College of Continuing Education in Miramar hosts a board meeting. And it really is an opportunity for us to highlight some of the programs that we have on the campus to the Board of Trustees who don't get to come to campus as often as we do. And so we pick these programs that haven't had a chance to present and or may have done something noteworthy in the last year. And it is low-key a competition between the colleges. One, who can brag the best about their wonderful students and faculty and classified and supervisors and managers. And yes, I gotta say it that way every time. Who
Best way.
best food, best swag, and the most competitive part, Andy, is we only have an hour to do this.
Watch the clock.
Right, and you can see the number of programs there. We could easily talk a half hour, 20 minutes about each of these programs. So there's a practice involved. You'll get invited to the practice. I actually think it should already been scheduled for you. But this is our time to showcase the wonderful efforts underway here at San Diego City College. So after the hour that we get to present, then the board meeting goes on and everybody leaves.
So our president chancellor doesn't seem to be as
Oh, we don't want to
strict
push
as
it. We
past.
don't want to push.
Yes.
Yeah, just FYI for you, it will be a long work. So if you're attending the entire one, it sometimes goes into that step, so.
That's why there's such great food, so they can get pretty food.
It is a big thing, and kudos to those folks who were selected. Looking forward to learning more about their programs, and I look forward to this every year because we get to go first. I think there's both an advantage and a disadvantage to go first, but we get to set the tone for how we do this. And of course, the board members love all four colleges, but there's an energy and a synergy that's here at City College, and we intend to make that. Looking forward to seeing F-Jump. That is huge dedication and kudos to the faculty in that area. We took a lot of effort for them to move in this direction because that area is probably moving more rapidly than any other in terms of changing and integration. So looking forward to seeing that. And this is really about featuring the faculty and the students involved in these areas. So looking forward to seeing them there. We provide typically a polo shirt and or something to the people who participate as well. So my office will be sending out a communication if you desire for those who are participating to adhere to the dress code. The swag code, I probably should say, but of course you can wear whatever you like that day. Any other questions about this?
I would just like to say that, since we're talking about this one, this is a great time to also start thinking about next year. So if we have other programs out there, that are interested, please let, your manager, supervisors know. We'd be happy to highlight.
And that includes, we're always looking for presentations in college council as well, right? So we've heard faculty say, hey, I've written a book, I've got this award. Don't assume that we know, reach out to us, work with your dean. We'd love to be able to feature you at either one of these events or at one of the college council events. Anything else? Caesar is always looking for something to write about too. Next on the agenda are the future meetings that we have coming up. Chancellor's Forum on September 16th. That's an opportunity to hear from the Chancellor more in depth. It's got about an hour presentation. Kind of think of it as a state of the district. Look out for those communications. There's a flyer in your packet. One of my favorite events of the year is the Classified Forum. I believe Mona's going to be joining us on that day. We're working with Sean, and that is an opportunity for the classified to ask questions. I don't see the student forum on here, but that's coming up as well. So we have all these opportunities for engagement on campus. I'd love to hear from you all. I encourage you to visit my open office hours or come to one of these forums. And the next college council is on September 23rd. But before we adjourn, are there any updates for the good of the order? I'll also be at the Academic Senate on the 22nd. I believe, looking forward to engaging the faculty in a discussion there.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, it was on the agenda for yesterday, that's in my meeting. There was some miscommunication. I think I communicated with your office and they very clearly said what the date was, and I very clearly ignored it. So,
No worries.
It was in Senate yesterday, it was not Ricky's fault, he didn't stand with that, it's my fault.
No, thank you for acknowledging that. I think there was just,
Pouted all night.
man, I was hoping I was going to see you there. I think the confusion was because normally the Academic Senate and College Council would not meet the first week of school. And so we had agreed I would come to the second meeting, and there was some confusion as to whether the second meeting was on the 22nd or whatever, but I will be at the next one. Thank you for acknowledging that, Mona. Any other updates for the good of the order? Hearing none,